What happens when political fiction starts to become reality? James Bennett, former action star turned popular California governor who returned to acting, stars in a hit streaming drama about seizing political power. When his former chief of staff suggests turning fiction into reality, the line between entertainment and conspiracy disappears. As a viral marketing campaign creates mass confusion, Bennett faces an impossible choice. When unexpected events in Washington coincide with the show's pivotal episode, is it a brilliant promotion or something more sinister? Acting President, 8 episodes of political intrigue where entertainment becomes a dangerous game. Acting President, wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey folks, Garrett Fisher here. I need to tell you about this absolutely mind-blowing podcast, Acting President, that's been keeping me up at night. It's about James Bennett, a former governor starring in a hit Sunday night TV show about overthrowing the government, and then his actual former chief of staff approaches him to do it for real. The line between fiction and reality completely disappears when these course correction rallies start popping up everywhere. Is it brilliant marketing or something more sinister? The parallels are insane. Trust me, this is the political thriller you didn't know you needed in your life. Acting President, available now wherever you find podcasts.
Caloroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with 5 good news stories. Now, the other day I told you about the Naked 5K this weekend. I understand maybe that's not your thing and you're looking for something to do Saturday. Why don't you head up to New York City for Pigeon Fest? Pigeon Fest is a day-long event featuring art exhibitions, science demonstrations, and the city's first pigeon impersonation pageant. This will be on the High Line, which is a cool park in New York City. Pigeon Fest is noon to 8. It coincides with, of course, as you know, you have it on your calendar, National Pigeon Appreciation Day. The events also include a Zumba-style pigeon dance party and a puppet show put on by somebody who goes by Mother Pigeon, who's famous in New York for feeding the birds while dressed in a giant pigeon costume. One of the organizers told Time Out New York, "Love them or hate them, people are fascinated by our feather friends. This festival felt like a fitting way to celebrate New Yorkers' dynamic relationship with art, nature, and most specifically, say it with me, pigeons." All right, whose side are you on? The bullfrogs or the turtles? Well, in Yosemite National Park, they have eradicated bullfrogs. Why? Because the bullfrogs were non-native and they had messed things up for California's only native turtle species. The northwest pond turtle had been proposed as a threatened species. Their biggest threat? American bullfrogs from east of the Rockies. The American bullfrog was introduced back in 1950. Brian Todd is a UC Davis professor in the Department of Wildlife, Fish, and Conservation Biology. He said one reason American bullfrogs are among the top worst globally introduced pests is because they eat everything. Anything that fits into their mouth. They've been causing declines to native species everywhere they're introduced, which is around the world. Those pesky bullfrogs have made their way to Brazil, Ecuador, Cuba, Japan, northern Italy, and Malaysia. The team of bullfrog eradicators took searches on foot during the day to locate and scoop bullfrog egg masses using paint strainers or mesh nets, and then laid them out in the sun to dry. Adults were captured at night and euthanized. One of the scientists said, as bullfrog presence declined, we started to hear other native frogs call and see native salamanders walking around. It's nice to be able to go back to these sites and hear a chorus of native frogs calling again that previously would not have been heard. Scientists are getting it done this week. They've done a bladder transplant. The recipient had previously lost most of his bladder during a tumor removal process, leaving the remainder too small and compromised to work. Both of his kidneys were also removed due to cancer and end-stage kidney disease. He'd been on dialysis for 7 years. The procedure involved a transplant of both a new bladder and a new kidney recovered from a donor. The surgeons first did the kidney, followed by the bladder, then they connected the kidney to the new bladder. 8 hours. One of the doctors said the kidney immediately made a large volume of urine and the patient's kidney function improved immediately. There was no need for any dialysis after surgery, and the urine drained properly into the new bladder. That is awesome. You ever host a show where you're supposed to do 5 stories and you can't remember if you've done 3 or 4? That's like a Clint Eastwood line there. Oh, which is a good time for me to promote. We've got another podcast, Eastwood Reloaded. I didn't do this on purpose. I actually lost count of how many stories I've done. How many stories have you done, Punk? 3 or 4? Anyway, Eastwood Reloaded takes a look at the career of Clint Eastwood. It's a fun show. I'm the writer on that one. If you want to check out Eastwood Reloaded. If you would like this program or Eastwood Reloaded or the other ones on the network, including Daily Comedy News, which I host, if you would like all those without commercial interruption, without feed drops, go to caloroga.com/plus, or if you're on Apple Podcasts, click the banner that says uninterrupted listening, and they'll walk you through how that all works. And I have checked. I've done 3 stories, so there's 2 more to go. In Miami, a local business is sorting through thousands of donated sneakers to decide the best way to keep them out of landfill. Each pair will have a future either as recycled material or with a new owner who's going to continue to use them. Sneaker Impact receives around 1 million pairs of shoes every year through volunteer partners like running clubs. Americans will own an average of 250 pairs of shoes in a lifetime. I know I've got tons under the bed. I'm a runner, and they are differently worn out depending on the pair, and I always get like a really different color. Like if I'm running in like bright yellow, I make sure my next ones are black and then blue or rainbow. Otherwise, I'm like, which pair is this? All right, shoes that are kind of cooked. They're shredded and sorted into foam and fabric, then sold as raw materials where they can be used to make things like carpet mats or floor mats. Others that still have some life in them are sent around the world for resale. And good news for a cow. The cow was caught in a flood in Australia and found on a beach 11 miles away. Yikes. Multiple cows were swept away by floodwaters brought on by torrential rains in New South Wales. Layla found the cow alive on Old Bar Beach. Officials came, returned the cow to its owner. The owner said the cow has been removed from the beach and is being treated by a vet. And those are your 5 good news stories. I'll either see you at Pigeon Fest or the Naked 5K, and you have a great day.
Want this podcast without commercial interruptions or feed drops? Caloroga Plus is just $5 a month, and you'll get this show ad-free. Plus, we've just added the full first seasons of Eastwood Reloaded and Crown and Controversy, so you can binge listen our new series without a single interruption. Caloroga Plus gives you palace intrigue, 5 good news stories, daily comedy news, 5 daily trivia questions, and all the other shows on the Caloroga Shark Media Network, totally ad-free. For just $5 a month, it's the best deal going. Apple Podcast users can even get a 30-day free trial by clicking the banner that says uninterrupted listening. If you're on any other app, head to caloroga.com/plus. Link in the show notes. Don't wait. Get your uninterrupted content now. Apple Podcast users click that banner that says uninterrupted listening. If you're on any other app, head to caloroga.com/plus. Link in the show notes.